It's slightly better, but I will switch to it anyway regardless. Even if it was the same as the clipper I used before, I would still switch to it because of the ease of use. So I've basically done you a little demo. You might not be able to tell the difference through the YouTube sound quality, but I can just about tell a little difference on my end. So got a beat here, very simple, just a drum beat with one of my wonderful presets from Shadow Zone, the new preset pack. Thank you to everyone who already grabbed a copy. I remember that it's still on sale for the rest of this week. If you use the discount code ShadowZone, all caps, you get great sounds like the Hot Springs Eternal and much more. But anyway, I've cracked this one in with some drums, and we're just going to smash these two sounds together through the clipper and see if you can notice the difference. So that's with no clipper, obviously, and that's going then right into the red. And remember, why we're using the clipper is purely to stop the signal going into the red. After that, if you're thinking about why you're using it any more than that, then you're already overcomplicating things, because it's not such a thing that you need to obsess over, you know. But there can be a tiny, so unnoticeable difference in sound quality between clippers. Like really, you have to really pay close attention. Even with this one, I don't know if you're going to notice the difference. But here's the one I normally use, the Fat Effects. Right, I've turned up the input 3 dB, so I'm boosting the volume 3 dB into the clipper, right? And let's hear how it does that. All right, and now doing exactly the same thing over here on this clipper, 3 dB here. And so I'll do you a little comparison, right? So you can try and hear the difference. So I'll switch between them. So going from the Fat Effects to the clipper and back. You might hear it, you might not. It's very, very subtle. When I first listened for the freshest ears, I noticed a slight improvement with the Kilohearts clipper. Basically, though, you've got to make sure that the output's not actually going into the red. So it was actually doing quite a good job of staying in the green. But yeah, the best way to use it is probably just to be safe. Set the output to minus 0.01, and then you know that you're going to be in the green still. Yeah, the other thing is you've got a knee here. And I wouldn't personally advise using it too much, because then you're going to actually come away from what the clipper is doing. Because really, for the highest volume, you want the hardest clipping that you can get. But I toyed around with just going up a tiny bit on the knee, which is okay. So now if I compare that again to this one, I feel like it's slightly cleaner. I feel like the bass comes through like a little bit more in the mix now. Again, it's very subtle. But for my ears, like through this what's it called? The copper hydro extracted ultra funcular copper coil. What's the word? I can't remember what this cable, through this cable that costs more than your headphones probably did. I'm just kidding. It was, I think it was like €80, 60. I think I paid €60, custom made. Cryo chamber copper, cryo copper, coiled cryo, something. A fancy word that makes you pay more money for stuff because it sounds intelligent. Through that intelligent cable and the best headphones that have ever been made, I can just about hear a slight difference. All right, that's basically what I'm trying to say. I feel like I feel I think I actually probably say almost 3% more low end power and clarity with the Kilohearts clipper. So just really, really, I mean, it could be placebo at that point. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it could be a placebo effect, but I think it's real. I'm 87% certain that it's real, that I can really hear the difference, and that the difference is about 3% better. So I will be switching to it from this point on, but not only because of the perhaps placebo, perhaps 3% better signal, but majoritively because I don't have to then do what I normally had to do, which was put on my fat effects and then put on a gain afterwards and 0.01 beforehand, and then also I would have to put a gain before the clipper if I wanted complete control. So I could, because in the fat effects itself or in other clippers itself, you're limited to 1 decimal point, which is terrible if you want to be precise. So I don't have to worry about that clunky volume change anymore. I can be really, really exact just with this clipper, and I can do in here. It's got 2 decimal points. Praise God, thank the heavens. So that's 2 decimal places is definitely enough leeway to get it right. You know, so now I could do maybe like a 2.99 boost maybe, or this is important for like mastering and stuff like that, you know, like if you're just if you're still like a beginner, intermediate, or even going into advanced producer, like it's not really going to be that important to you. Like just put the clipper on to make sure everything's in the green and just produce and just keep training your ears over time. But as you get like closer to as your ears get like better, in terms of to the fact where you're creating your own masters and stuff like that, then you want this kind of control with like 2 decimal places to get the volume perfect. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You can have the knee because the knee doesn't. I think that makes a slight difference as well. But yeah, I don't imagine I'd ever go much higher than like. I would never really go up to like 1 whole dB because then it seems to. You're going away, like I mentioned, you're kind of going away from the point of the clipper, which is to like cut the signal flat. You know, if you start doing too much knee, then you're basically being too soft. But yeah, a little bit of it, I mean, gives you a little bit of leeway to perhaps get a slightly more dynamic signal to come through, but I wouldn't go too crazy with that. Yeah, and do you 0.01 as well, just in case. At the beginning when I loaded it up at 0, it normally does a pretty good job here at keeping it in the green. But just in case it doesn't want to do that, then no one's gonna be coming knocking on your door if you if you have your final output at minus 0.01. Like, they're still going to be loud enough, don't worry. Anyway, that's my little roundup for the Kilohearts clipper. Basically, it's great. I would use it. Recommend it. It's free. It's excellent. All the Kilohearts stuff is great. Shout out to Kilohearts. Big ups. Much respect. Alright, that's it from me today. May I remind you as well, if you want any mastering work done, you can email me at info@artifactmusic.com. If you'd like to have a production lesson with me, links to book in sessions are down below. If you like some wonderful presets, they're all on sale at the moment. You have to use the discount code ShadowZone. That's for all individual preset packs. But I would recommend the Vital Shadow Zone as the one that you purchased if you only bought one, because that's definitely my favourite one so far. We've got more coming on the channel with experimenting with Serum 2, lots of other things, mixdown ideas, mixdown problems and challenges and questions that you face. Write them in the comments and I might make a video about them. Yeah, that's about it from me today. More from me very soon. Much love.